So I'm no surprises. Leclerc had the fastest time, but I think that Piastri and Norris are sandbagging a little bit. Leclerc beat them by maybe a tenth of a second, but I think they have more coming. Lewis Hamilton is 4/10 of a second behind his teammate, and he's behind Tsunoda. Some people can say it's just practice, but I think he's still trying to dial in on the car and get used to it, and it's a little bit awkward. But it's surprising that Tsunoda came fourth, and also his teammate Hadja is like sixth, right behind Hamilton. So it looks like the Bulls, the sister team of Red Bull, are doing very well. Verstappen, I think he was back in sixth or seventh, but he was pushing the car a little bit too hard. But we all know Verstappen will get it together by the time you get to qualifiers. What are your thoughts, Kunle? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still curious until the qualifiers. I think I'm just going to say I have no idea because I don't know if the Toro Rosso is that fast. I saw Mercedes doing really well on the hard tires against the mediums of everyone else.
He didn't do well on the top.
First practice, and they were on hard tires and they were going really well. And I remember in the past, Lewis Hamilton used to be really good on the hards. Then Mercedes now went from having the hard tire as the best tire to the medium tire as the best tire. Antonelli looked like he's not up to scratch with the car yet.
I don't think he's going to do well.
Yeah, he's far, far behind. I mean, but if you look at the gap between Leclerc and Hamilton already, the way I look at it is not so much how much they're performing overall in the race, but how much they're performing in regards to their racing partners. That's where I think that I'll really see the difference in the drivers. And for Hamilton to be that close to Leclerc at this stage, on a track that is Leclerc friendly.
Yeah, but 4/10 of a second for a lap is very fast. Is a big difference. That's a big difference for one lap. It's not for a race pace. This is just for one lap, 4/10. But I think is that it's still a close gap. But I think that it's clear that you have to remember. Lewis Hamilton said that this is a new team, a new car. This guy has been with this car since 2012. No, not 2012.
Okay.
No. Leclerc has been there for a good 7 years, and he knows the car. It's the same car. It just evolves. This is a totally new experience, and it's asking a lot to have Hamilton come to a new team. Also, in an era in which he doesn't like these types of car, which are fronty, since he's a late breaker and a back driver. So it's asking a lot, and I think that's the main difference of why he's struggling. What do you think? Yeah.
Sorry, someone just tried to call me just now. Sorry, can you just say that again? Someone just tried to call me.
No, what I was saying is that the main difference is that Leclerc knows the team, he knows the mechanics, He knows the car. And I think this 4/10 of a second or maybe 8/10 of a second in some of the past things per lap is an indication of two things. The fact that he's on a new team against someone who's been driving that car for 7 years, even though the car has evolved, but Leclerc has evolved with it. So every step of the way, he's used to the car. You know that guy who starts off with a cow when it's young and stands up with it. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that's how.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
And Lewis Hamilton is 40, and on top of that, he's still suffering from self-doubt. Before practices, his dad was patting him on the back and say, "Let's go, let's go." And someone had a point: if you're a 7 world champion, you don't really need that. So I think that race in Abu Dhabi broke his spirit a little bit. I'm not saying that he's not going to do well, but he's behind a driver who beat Vettel. When Leclerc beat Vettel his first year coming into Ferrari. So what I'm saying is that Leclerc is too good for you to jump from another team, then be 40 years old, and then to beat him. Because let's assume that Lewis Hamilton and Leclerc are on the same level, talent-wise and speed-wise. Leclerc has the advantage of experience on the team and of youth. What do you think? Yeah,
that would be assuming that they're on the same level. However, this is the kind of track that Leclerc is fast, but it's also the kind of track that Leclerc burns his engine out, or he's winning with 5 laps to go and he does something stupid and crashes out.
But I think you over-exaggerate that. But let me tell you why I think you over-exaggerate. Last year, Leclerc only had 2 DNFs, and last year, Leclerc and Sainz, I think they won and came, and I think Leclerc came 4th. So in general, he's still inconsistent with DNFs and stuff, but it's getting better. We have to remember Leclerc came 3rd in the Drivers' Championship last year. He came 3rd behind.
Can I call you back? Sorry,
we'll be done quickly.
Leclerc. With Leclerc and Hamilton, I'm surprised also Hamilton is actually not only is he close when he's so new, he's still new to the car, and I thought that he would be further back from Leclerc than he is, given that we're just
Yeah,
coming
but
into.
remember, 4 tenths of a second is a lot in F1. It's a lot. And here's another thing. He's behind Tsunoda, who is in a slower car. He's behind Tsunoda, but this is just free practice though. But it looks like the Red Bull's sister team is doing very well. So I'm not saying that Hamilton is doing well. We have to remember Hamilton had better race pace than Russell and could have been beating Russell. The problem though, and this is what is showing with this practice is that over one lap, Hamilton is struggling. That's his problem. I think in a race he'll do a lot better. What are your last thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
We got to get out of here. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to the race. I'm looking forward to the qualifiers actually, and also Hamilton is doing better in this qualifier. Yeah, he's doing better in this qualifiers than he was doing with the Mercedes. He wasn't this hyper in the practice. I really don't know what's going to go on. I will start making my judgments after the qualifiers.
Well, here's what I would say. It's very clear that these guys are still the fastest car in the game. McLaren. I think McLaren is sandbagging a little bit, but McLaren is continuing having over rotation problems since they've changed their front rack steering, and that might affect them. So I think all these teams are very close. I'll give a slight edge to McLaren, and I'll say that Ferrari is the second fastest car so far. Let's see what Mercedes can do. I don't know what the conditions are there. Mercedes struggled a little bit, but I think, like you said, we don't know what's going on. But I think if somebody put a gun to your head right now and said, who's going to win between Leclerc and Hamilton this year, if they put a gun and you have no choice, what would you say?
In the race, they put a gun to my head. Honestly,
yeah.
Honestly, I'd say Leclerc. This particular race, I'll say Leclerc.
Yeah, so that's that. I mean, that's the thing. But it doesn't mean that it'll come true. But it just means that no matter that's the slight instinct. Yeah, but that's good. We don't have